Hello again, this is Robert Veach here. This is my video review of the Zotek brand, their model ZT-5566SE. It's a mini desktop digital multimeter, 19,999 count, auto range, dual LCD display, AC/DC meter, true RMS, and it has a unique Bluetooth voice broadcast. And it actually has ambient temperature. You can see right there, 18 degrees centigrade. Also has a clock and an alarm clock. So I have it powered on right now, and right now it's in volt or hertz. You can see I can go to DC or AC. We're going to go over all the functions of this. It's really unique because I've never seen something like this. I'm going to show you my lab, and you can see I have a lot of different multimeters and devices, but I've never had one that's quite like this, that's has voice that comes out of it telling you what you're reading, so that you can use this without looking at the display, which is really unique. So I'm just going to give you an example right here. I'm on voltage, and if I have the test leads right here and I just touch them or leave them open, there's a little button right here on the ground. If you hit that,
DC voltage negative 0.0065 volt.
So it was trying to tell me the voltage that it was reading right there. And if I were to go into ohms, and let's say I would just touch this like this and get a nice high resistance,
35.14 megohm.
So really nice. So all you have to do is touch that button there and you get the sound. And you have a volume control right here. You could change the volume up to 15 level. And there's also a voltage range button here. If you hit that, then this allows you to change the voltage range of the given setting. So if I was on voltage right there, I could change the range of it. You see it's changing the decimal point along, or it could be auto range. That's what that function is. There is a little battery indicator right there, which lets you see the status of the battery, and there's the temperature. On the back of the unit, there is the main power switch right there, a mode button for setting the time, and centigrade Fahrenheit. We can hit that if we want to have it stay or go to Fahrenheit temperature right there. And then you see you have a hold button, you have a min-max release button, amps and milliamps, because you can get amps there and milliamps there by moving the lead across. Measure capacitance, resistance, and frequency and voltage, AC and DC right there. We're going to test all these functions out. It's really nice. On the bottom here you have the choice of flipping the legs out. It has silicone pads in the back. And on each side of there is a full range speaker on that side and on that side, so you have a left and right, and that's what's producing the actual sound that you're hearing. Included is a charging cable, USB. This is a mini USB port to a USB-A. So you just take that and you plug it into the back. Right here, there's a little port. You plug it in right there, and then you can close it after you're using it. That will charge the internal batteries on here, because as you can see, it's totally running without any external power. You could also plug this into a adapter, and if the battery's running low, you can run the unit on external power if you want to. On the back of the unit, there is a screw right here. You can open this up just to take a look. If you ever had to replace a battery, they're right there. They're like 18650s, I believe, and you can just replace them right there if you had to. So another really unique feature about this product is you could connect to any device Bluetooth. It'll come up digital multimeter in your Bluetooth, and then you could stream music. And I was really impressed with the sound quality because it's stereo and it's got a real good kick to it. And that's important because that's what allows this to speak and say clearly what it does. So So if you're playing something and then you're measuring something and you wanted to get the reading,
Over range.
it will take priority and it'll say the actual words of what you're measuring there so that you could actually
Over range.
take priority over the music. So that way you're working, you're measuring your circuitry, your voltages, and you still have the music in the background so you don't have to be looking at the display. So here, the first test I'm going to do, I have a power supply right here, which has its own voltage current, and you can see 7.85 and it's matching it pretty accurately. So that's the first thing you can see, is you can easily measure DC voltage on the display right there. So if I were to go to, let's say, 27.71, and then I could hit the button on the ground wire.
DC voltage 27.70 volt.
So it's really clear because they have a lot of power in the stereo speaker. It's very easy to understand. So here I've got a resistance box, and I'm going to send 14 volts through the box where I can control the current, and I have the lead on the current right there, so it's measuring the actual current, and I can increase it or decrease it, and that's the correct value right there. And again, if I hit the lead right here,
DC current 0.3539 amp.
so the amp was telling you that the amperage right there. So now that's on milliamps. Now I have the connector switch to amps right there, and I could increase the voltage right here. You can see the amps are going up, and I can decrease the resistance to increase even more on the resistance box right there. So that's another way to measure direct current, a larger amount.
DC current 0.0197 amp.
Now I have it on resistance ohms, and you can see it's showing me 1.5K, and that's matching what's in the box right there.
1.6430 kilo ohm.
So it allows you to get that value and actually hear it audibly. So here I have it on capacitance, and it's going to tell you the capacitance there is in nanofarads, and I could switch my selector right here and get all the different values. Then when I hit the button,
5.44 nanofarad.
so that's really nice. So you can get measurements of capacitors you have that you might have in your electronic toolbox, and you can recalibrate them based on what you're reading on this device, which is handy. And the instruction manual is nicely written, and it goes over all these things that I'm showing, using diodes to test and everything, how to use the actual product. Now there's a simple continuity test right here. You hit this button and it'll go continuity. Gives you a nice beep on there.
0.09 ohm.
So it even tells you the value. You hit this again and you see the little diode symbol in there. So on this diode setting, you can get the forward bias voltage of any diode. So if you put the leads on the correct way to conduct, you can see it says 0.552,
0.558 volt.
so that's the actual forward bias voltage of that diode. So here I have it connected up to a signal generator, and that's frequency right there, and I can change the frequency and the amplitude, and I'm on volts and hertz. So you see it's 3.5 volts true RMS, and it's matching the frequency about 289, so it's giving me the frequency in hertz. And again, if I hit the button right on here,
AC voltage 3.568 volt.
so that's nice. So now you're measuring voltage and you're measuring the actual frequency of it. And I could change the voltage right there. I can drop it down or raise it up, but it's still telling me the actual RMS voltage and the frequency. Very handy to have that combination in a lab. So the clock that's on here is in 24-hour mode. You can see it's 1951, and there's the temperature as I showed. There is the battery display right there letting you know the battery. And when you do put that cable in, it will charge it, and you can shut the unit off and get a full charge. There's the centigrade Fahrenheit button. The mode button is what you're going to hit. That's going to allow you to cycle through and change the time and get it just right for what you want. If there's no activity or measuring for 15 minutes, it'll go into a timeout mode. It'll shut down, but it's still powered on. Then all you do is hit the release button right there. It'll come back on and bring the unit back to life, ready for you to use it. If you are measuring current and you exceed milliamps or amps and you damage the fuse inside here, there's 4 screws right there you remove, and this back cover will come off, and use the standard mini fuses so you can replace them. And like any good old multimeter, it has a minimum and max. It'll show you right there. So if you have a range of settings, it'll store those minimums and maximums so that you can look at the display to analyze what's happening in the circuit. There also is an alarm clock on this. If you want to go through the settings, you can set an alarm, and again it's in a 24-hour mode. So another handy thing that this has, it can measure AC and DC voltages as I showed. So here I'm on AC, and I have the 120 volt line coming in from my house, a hot and a neutral, and it's showing it's 124.91 and about 60 hertz. And if I hit the test lead for the sound,
AC voltage 124.90 volt.
So that's handy. So it lets you know that your incoming voltage on your home and what value it is. So after testing, what do I think about the Zotek brand and their model ZT5566SE, their mini desktop digital multimeter? This is a totally unique product. Never seen anything like this with the voice broadcast, the ability to play Bluetooth music, and all the settings that you have in there, all the options to measure capacitor resistance. Really nice, so that you have a choice of using this without actually looking at it, which is really cool. Really cool product. I'm impressed with it. It works really well, and the audio was really clear and crisp, but there's a lot of settings on here. So I'm going to give this product a full 5-star rating. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you're alerted to new video uploads. And if you thought this review was helpful, please hit the like button. There'll be an ordering link in the information section of this video review. Please use that link when you order this product to help support this channel. I hope this video review helped you with your buying decision. Thank you for watching.